Alright, so basically what happened, if it's recording now, is that I've been talking for I was talking for about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of explaining today's topic, and I look in the mirror. I look through some glass just to see if it's still recording. Just because, no real reason. Just wanted to check, and it wasn't recording. So the whole thing was off. So I check it again. Tried to turn the power on. Almost ran into that guy. Tried to turn the power on. Nothing happens. Right? Pull the battery out. Put it back in. Turn the power back on. It works. Cool. Alright. So what do I do next? I turn it on. Right? I check to see, what happened to the file. Like when it cut off at. No file. Son of a gun. Alright, so I'm talking now, and hopefully it's working now. Because it could not, it's possible it's not working right now. It's freaking great, man. Okay, it's still blinking, and hopefully it's recording. So, today's topic, once again, today at 9 o'clock, it's 7:17 right now, I'm going to be going to see one of my favorite animes that have ever been produced. That includes a movie and also series, and that movie is Ghost in the Shell. I'm a huge fan of the movie, and I'm an even bigger fan of the Standalone Complex series. They have another series that they're doing, and it's like a remake, retelling type of thing. So I watched like 2 episodes of that. It was alright. But so today's topic I wanted to talk about was my favorite animes so far, and the animes I want to do were all movies that are not just movies. So like Spirited Away, if I'm not mistaken, Spirited Away is just a movie itself. Princess Mononoke, this movie itself, both great animes, but I don't want to talk about them. I want to talk about ones that were mangas at first and then got converted into either anime series or a movie. I'd rather talk about anime series, but talk about the movies too. So first up is a One-Way Tie. Both of them are 2 different genres, and both of them that I really enjoy. The first one is a comedy / martial arts anime. It's called Ranma 1/2. The story is about a guy named Ranma who goes to who's Japanese. They go to China to do some martial arts training, and while there training with his father, he falls into the Cursed Springs, Wasenjo Cursed Springs or something like that. And off of him falling into the Cursed Springs, once he touches cold water, he turns into a girl. If he's hit with hot water, he turns back into a guy. Alright, and so after coming back, he gets in with the Tendo family, and he's supposed to marry his father's best friend's one of his daughters, and then winds up being and he has to like keep the secret of him turning into animals and stuff. Turning into a girl, And then later on, you know, you meet more characters, and then some of those characters they went to the springs too, for whatever reason, and they also fell into the Cursed Springs, but in a different section of it. And so there's one guy, he turns into a pig. There's a guy who turns into a duck. There's a girl who turns into a cat. I think that's it. But it's funny. It's got a whole bunch of hijinks. Got a whole bunch of laughs. Got a whole bunch of random fighting styles that people use. I mean, it's just all over the place. And like the first part of the series, you're like being sort of taught. The first like couple of episodes, they like trying to, you know, let you know that, you know, he turns into a girl and all that stuff. So it kind of like beats it over the head type of thing. And you know, it might beat you over the head a little too much off the first couple of episodes. So you know that's coming, and try to, you know, keep going past that point, because once you get past that point, it starts really getting funny, really funny. And all the new characters, like I said, start coming in. The Kuno family, Ryoga, Moose, Shampoo, the grandmother, the grandfather, you know, all the different martial arts that he starts to try to learn, and the people he tried to beat and all that stuff. It just gets really, really funny. And I think you'll like it. Would you give it a chance? I think you'll like it. The anime that's tied with it for the #1 spot, it's like I said, it's different. It's on the opposite side. What's up with all these rocks? It's all the way on the opposite side. You know, it's not even, I don't think it's not even close to being the same. It's it's mech styled anime that's not really focused that much on the mechs, and it's more about the psyche of everybody. And also it's got religious components to it, and it's just really, really good. A really good anime. It's called Neon Genesis Evangelion. And so the story is about the kid Shinji, who goes to stay with his father. I think his mother doesn't die, but he goes to stay with his father and his father works for this company called Nerve, and they are trying to protect Japan, and Japan's under constant threat and attack by these quote unquote monsters that come every so often to destroy the city. And to save the city, they use these things which are the Evas, which are the mech suits that I was talking about. They're like humongous. They're like skyscraper high, and they need like a power supply constantly put into them so that he can keep running. I almost missed that guy. So his father brings him there basically because he wants him to pilot one of the Evas, and so that's what he does. He pilots one of the Evas. Things start getting super crazy towards the end, and you're feeling it. It's in there. They're getting it in, and the ending is just fantastic. The music is great. The music is great. The character development is amazing. The story is amazing. Art direction is great. I mean, it's just nothing but amazing stuff coming out of the anime. And so, that's why it's my #1 with Ranma 1/2, because Ranma 1/2, I've never seen an anime that was that damn funny since, without being too kiddish, because a lot of animes that are like comedic are usually made for like, I don't know, people that like preteen type comedy. And granted, it might have had some preteen comedy type stuff in it, but it wasn't like just focused on that. I don't know, it's just great. I mean, there's ain't much to say. It's a great anime. Both of them are. Alright, so after that, you go into the second spot. #2. I give it to Trigun. Let me check this thing. Still blinking. Cool. Trigun is a story about this guy named Vasted Stampede. He has a bounty on his head. It's like $1 billion or $1 trillion bounty, dead or alive. And so while he's traveling this planet, which is not Earth, he's traveling this planet, and it's a different planet. It's like a desert planet. So it has like this Wild Wild West type feel to it. While he's doing that, everybody and their mama is trying to kill this guy because they want that, you know, that $1 billion or $1 trillion bounty. His what he's trying to do, he's trying to find his brother, and he wants to find his brother because his brother, I think, was the reason for why everybody's trying to kill him now. And so he's like trying to talk to his brother and, you know, not really clear his name, but, you know, clear his conscience type of thing. And so yeah, and he meets up with these two girls that are like insurance agents, if I'm not mistaken, and they are trying to I don't know, I think they're trying to get him insured because that way they can I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember exactly, but you know, they're trying to get with him, and then after a while they like they get on his team and they start walking around with him. So it's funny, it's action packed, it's interesting, it's somewhat thought provoking as far as like standpoints, because it has some of the standpoints of like a superhero and how you should handle certain things, and is death necessary to, you know, fix problems? Is it cool to kill the bad guy that's killing 1 billion people? Or, you know, and then once you kill them, are you just like them? Or, you know, stuff like that. So it's cool on those aspects, but it also the character himself really pulls you in, and you start to enjoy him, and you start to become emotionally invested in him, to the point where, you know, once, you know, everything started falling apart for him in his life, you know, you're upset, you're hurt, you're angry, you know, you want things to work out for him, you know, and that's like the main reason it's on my list, because, you know, if you could do that to me, if you could get me angry and invested in somebody that's not even real, that I never met, you know, in the story, then I'm more interested in it, and I think it shows better skill at storytelling than your average movie, cause like or show, cause like let's see, I'm trying to think of something that, let's say Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, I know it's going to happen somewhat because it's, you know, it's the average story. Good guys go win, good guys win, yada yada yada. But let's say something happened to, which something does happen to the hobbits. Some of the hobbits, they get screwed over. Let's say 2 of them got killed. I could care less because I wasn't really invested in these guys. You know, it just, what was going on with them was, I guess, wasn't hitting home enough for me. Or I didn't get to spend enough time with them, or whatever it is that, you know, makes me say, or makes me quote unquote sad if something happens to them, if they die, if they get their arm bit off. You know, I could care I could care less. But with Vash, when, you know, when stuff started going down and he had to make hard choices and all that, you know, it was getting to me. It was getting to me. You know, I was feeling it. I was getting upset. I wanted revenge, you know. I wanted to do something about it. I could have been a contender. But anyway, so that's enough with Vash and Trigun. Next on the list is probably my favorite story of all, but because of how they did the anime, which is still good, but the way they did the anime compared to what they did to the manga, it kind of drops it down a bunch of points, and so that's why it's in the 3rd position. But that anime, it not only gets you involved with the main character like Trigun did, or like Neon Genesis did. And Neon Genesis has the same type of story pull as this, but it gets you involved, like both of them gets you involved with not only the protagonist, but everybody pretty much he hangs with, like his whole crew. If everybody he starts to like you start to like, you know. Everybody he's invested in, you start to become invested in. Everybody he doesn't want to see die, you know, you don't want to see die. And so, you know, that like I said, that is huge for me, to really get me so invested that when something happens to one of the characters, I'm getting upset. I want things to change. I want to be able to help, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, so that anime is sort of Berserk. First time I seen it, I saw the anime. And so the anime has 26 episodes, something like that. You know, the average season type of episodes. I think it's like 26. And it's good. You know, it's good. It gets you invested. It starts off in the, I guess you could say, not in the future, but the present. It starts off in the present time, and then it goes back to the past, so you can see how things started and what happened. But the story is about a guy named Guts, who is born into extreme hardships and becomes a warrior with his father. And then as time goes on, as time goes on, he gets upset. He leaves that gang. I mean that, I wouldn't say gang, but he leaves that group and moves on to another group. And so the timeline is like, I would say it's like medieval times. So everybody's using swords and arrows, crossbows, ride on horses. They got knights and crusaders and kings and queens and nobility and all that stuff, you know. So that's what's going on in that. And so he's like he becomes like a sword for hire for a while growing up, and then he comes across Griffith and the White Hawk. I keep thinking White Falcon. The band of the White Hawks, and so they, if I'm not mistaken, they beat the army that he's with, and then Grethus wants to recruit him, and things happen. He gets recruited, and then, you know, basically that's his new crew until, you know, problems happen. So all those people he gets with, you know, you at least the majority of them, you're like, man, when things start happening, you're like, God damn it. When things start happening to him, you know, I was getting angry. You know, that Guts is my man, you know, and I don't want nothing to happen to my homeboy, you know. Like, yo, this can't happen to you, Guts, not you. Anybody but you, Guts. Yeah, so that one had me that way. And then I found out about the manga, and it took me a long time to find it because it was very scarce online. Well, at one point, with the point I was trying to find it, it was really hard to find online. And so I met this guy in college. He showed me like I don't know, like 30 volumes of it or something like that, or maybe high 20s. And I looked at that, and then I was like, man, I mean, I was addicted to the anime, but the manga, you know, all the stuff the anime left out, you're looking at all that extra stuff, it's like, man, I want to know more. And so then I finally found another site to look at it, and haven't stopped since. The thing is really slow. If you want to look at the manga, it's really slow to come out. So if you start from the beginning and you don't rush it, you know, you'll be good for a while. But for me, chapters come out like, you know, one every like 4 months or so, and in those chapters you get maybe about 15 to 22 or something like that pages. So it kind of sucks, but you know, I can't give it up. You know, it's not like a Bleach or Naruto where it's like I really want to see it, but the reason I want to see it is because I want it to end. I just want to see what happens at the end. You know, tell me what happens at the end, goddammit. It keeps coming out basically every week. They give you about 14, 15 pages, but they just won't end it. And you're just like, come on. What's the ending? You know, like those ING commercials. What does it say? You just gotta know. So yeah, that's number 3. Give me a head nod. Up. There you go.